Greetings, comic book fans. I'm Jason. It is the Wednesday, the 20th of September 2017, which means it's the best day of the week, new comic book day. So you are, of course, watching Comic Haul Weekly, where I share with you the brand new books I picked up this week. I picked up 25 books today. I thought this week would be smaller because there was, I think it was 29 last week, which was a monster haul. And I thought this week would be smaller, but no such luck. But hey, at least it keeps me busy. So, first things first, I picked up, this was free, it is Marvel Legacy Spotlight, showing you all the new books, the Legacy books. You even have a checklist in the back of all the Legacy books that they're bringing out in October. I flicked through this, it's good, it gives you a little preview of like each comic. Like we start off with, like for example, you have the Avengers, and then it gives you like a few pages of the book. And then gives you a little piece on the creative team. Out of the books, I kind of like, there was nothing here that changed my mind. The books that I was picking up, I'm picking up. The books that I'm not going to pick up, there was nothing really here. Flicking through it, that kind of convinced me to give it a whirl. I will say I was a bit disappointed to see that the Hulk, like he's going back to Planet Hulk, which I was excited about, until I saw like Greg Land's doing the art. I'm like, what the... I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. I don't want to see anybody out of work, but I do not get what Marvel see with Greg Land. Considering that the books that he's been given, and he's shown a lack of improvement, he still has the same drawbacks that he cannot draw facial expressions, which I can't even know. But his job is an artist, and he hasn't showed no improvement of that. He has the same weaknesses, and it really handicaps, in my opinion, the writer, because the writer has to tell more of the story through the dialogue, because he knows that the art isn't going to be able to convey what he wants to convey. So yeah, I'm kind of really perplexed with that. But other than that, so I'm kind of, but just the whole thing going back to Planet Hulk, I'm going to give that a go. But I'm not pleased. But other than that, everything I'm going to get, I'm still getting. Everything that I like wasn't going to get, it hasn't really changed my mind anything. But still worth a pickup because it's free. Next up, we have so these are the books that I got this week. We have Black Hammer, issue number 13. I'm a bit behind on this, but I've really been enjoying it. So I'm looking forward to catching up and seeing what's going next. We have Aquaman number 28, which I've been loving Aquaman. That has been a lot of fun. We then have Batman, which I'm way behind on. You've got issue 31 here. Which is an interesting cover because you kind of got like all the villains on the cover, so that looks like an interesting issue. We have Batwoman issue number 7, which I will be reading this straight away. I did contemplate dropping this. I think it might have been issue 4 or 5 that I really didn't like, and I was contemplating dropping it. But then last issue we had like the flash forward to the future, which was really intriguing, and it kind of. And the issue before that as well, yeah, it was issue 4 I didn't think much of, and I was going to drop it. But then issue 5 kind of won me back a little bit, but it was the last issue of this that really got me back on board. So I'm looking forward to this, hoping that it continues to pick up. Because I really love the character, but I've just found her series, sometimes the writers they've put on it haven't really been up to scratch. Maybe, I don't know, I don't know if it's so much that they're not up to scratch, or is it just that they don't get that character? Is like, could you put the best writer in the world on a book, but if they don't get the character, you're not going to get the story. We then have Green Arrow, issue number 31. This will be the first book I read. I love Green Arrow. Love this cover with all the characters he's interacted with during this arc. And I'm just really, really enjoying this series as a whole. It's been fan-blooming-tastic. So I'm really excited to see how this is gonna end up this current arc. Then I have Green Lanterns 31, which again I'm behind on. So, but the covers to that have been intriguing. We then have Dark Knight, Batman, the Red Death, and this cover is just so 90s. I love it though. Anything shiny, I'm like, ooh, shiny. It works every time. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this. I'm a bit intrigued. I kind of went into metal a bit 50-50 because I kind of felt it seemed a bit, with the whole kind of thing with a Doomsday Clock coming up later this year, which I thought that was going to be next year. But with that coming up and the whole Watchmen thing, I just kind of felt setting up another universe while we've got that going on. I thought it was just too much at the same time. But I've really been enjoying Dark Knight's Metal, and I am intrigued to find out about these separate characters. So this could be good. At the very least, it will be interesting. We have Justice League issue 29, which I'm a couple of issues behind, but I kind of started picking this up with the comic writer Brian Hitch was not on the book. He had a couple of issues off, and he had a series of one-shot stories, and that's where I jumped in on the book. And I like those one-shot stories. I haven't started reading it again yet. I've got the issues, but I haven't started reading from when he came back on the book. So we'll see. It'll be my first experience of Hitch writing the book, so we'll see how we go. We have Nightwing issue 29. I've picked this up because it is part 2 of the tie-in with Metal, Gotham Resistance part 2. So I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen in this. I'm also kind of intrigued because I really enjoyed the Grayson series that they did. But kind of like when they went back into Nightwing, I wanted him to go back to Gotham and be, or Bloodhaven, and be Nightwing. But when I started picking up Nightwing, that first arc, he was still kind of like this super spy, which I kind of felt we'd done that. That was the Grayson series. Now we're back to being Nightwing. He should be back to being Nightwing, a superhero. So I was a bit disappointed, and I did drop the book, even though I'd grown to really like the character. So now I'm kind of intrigued to see how the character's gone, and if this issue is good, even though it's just a tie into Metal, but if this kind of can show me that Nightwing is getting back to what I wanted from this series, I could potentially start picking this one up. We will see. But I think it's a fortnightly book. Let's have a look. Was it? Yeah, $2.99. So I'm kind of a bit dicey about adding another fortnightly book. We then have Super Sons issue number 8. I've got 6 and 7 to read, so I really need to catch up with Super Sons because I've really been enjoying this series. We have a Superman issue number 31, which I love that cover. That cover to me just feels so old school, and I just really love it. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting into that. That looks all kinds of fun. We have the Wildstorm issue number 7. Shockingly, I was thinking of dropping this, just because I was trying to get my pull list down. But then I read the last issue, and I really enjoyed it, and I thought it brought a lot of stuff together and made sense of a lot of stuff and gave us explanations for stuff that we hadn't got yet. So I felt that had really won me over. So now I was super intrigued to keep getting it. So I've picked this up and keeping it on my pull. So yeah, I'm enjoying that. We then have Star Trek Boldly Go issue number 11. I've gone all Star Trek. And no, it's not because of the new series. I don't know what it is. Just like a couple of the channels in the UK show Star Trek. We have the horror channel, which show the horror channel show Star Trek the original series and Star Trek Voyager. And then we have Sci-Fi channel, which every night has like a 3-hour block of Star Trek the Next Generation. So I've been catching these shows on there. Then it's been on Netflix as well. So I've kind of been catching episodes of it, and it just kind of really won me back, and I missed it. So I went and bought the box set of the original series, the remastered ones, which have been brilliant with all the new effects. I managed to get a really good deal on the 3 newest movies on Amazon. And I've just gone all Star Trek, and I've also kind of tried all the comics, and this was the one I was least sure about, but after reading the first issue, it won me over. So I'm behind. I've got all the other issues. They're coming in the post. I managed to get them off eBay. They're coming in the post. I've read the first issue. I'm waiting on issue 2 to arrive. So I want to read all the issues. But so far, I'm looking forward to catching up with that. So yeah, expect to see a lot of Star Trek books on my pull list over the next few months. We then have The Amazing Spider-Man, Renew Your Vows, issue number 11. I've got last month's to read, but then I should be up to date. I really like that cover. That is a really cool cover. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading that. We then have The Avengers, issue number 11. This is I think it's the last issue. Mike Del Mundo's last issue. As we have, I think it's a completely new creative team. I don't think Mark Waid's on the book anymore. Again, I really like that cover, and it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to end this, because like the book is carrying on. They're just redoing the numbering because of all the whole legacy stuff. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they finish that one off. We have Doctor Strange, which I'm way behind on, but this is issue 25. So Marvel, of course, do a $4.99 issue. Like I can't really complain because I bought it. You know, it's like if I had an issue with it, I shouldn't have bought it. I kind of feel, you know, yeah, you still have the right to an opinion, but if you're buying it, you're part of the problem, not part of the solution. It's the people that say, no, this is rubbish. Why are they going to do a $4.99 issue just because it's the 25th issue? And then don't buy it. They're the people that are really going to make a difference if there's enough of them. And the problem is, they know they've got us because we're all completists. Well, not all of us, but a lot of us comic book collectors are completists. We want to complete a run. So yeah, this issue is $4.99, but I want a complete run there. I don't want an issue missing. So yeah, we end up picking it up when really everything inside us is screaming no, don't do it. We still pick it up. Speaking of $4.99 issues, next up we have Generations. I can't remember what the last one was of this that I read. It was Captain Marvel last week, wasn't it? The two Captain Marvels. I'm trying to think what was it the week before, because I know the last one I read of it was Jean Grey. The Jean Grey was the last one I read. Even though I read it late because I bought it a few weeks after, but it made a lot more sense after reading Secret Empire number 10. So I'm hoping that I'll go into this with the same kind of attitude, and I'm quite looking forward to this. I wasn't going to pick it up until I saw that G. Willow Wilson writes it. Yeah, G. Willow Wilson, she writes this, and she does such a great job with Miss Marvel. That was the thing that kind of convinced me I'm going to pick this up, because she knows the character really well. We then have Jean Grey, issue number 7, which looks interesting, featuring the Scarlet Witch for this issue's team up, so that should be good. That's just been a fun book. I did contemplate dropping that at one time, but it's just been a really fun book, and it's nice to have a few fun books on your pull list. Not everything has to be so serious. We then have Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, issue number 4, which has been really good so far. It has the fun element to it, but at the same time, it's got a really good story going along as well, and easy to follow. We have Spider-Man 2, issue number 3. I liked the first issue, did not enjoy the second, so I'm hoping this issue is going to get us back on track. We then have Star Wars Annual number 3, which looks like it's going to be a Princess Leia Han Solo story, which should be a lot of fun. And again, I like that cover with the white logo and the snow. I think that works really well. We then have Star Wars Captain Phasma. We continue our journey to Star Wars The Last Jedi. And this book is a tie-in. I've got the first issue of this to read, but I figured I'm going to buy this because it's kind of building up to the film, so I'm going to buy this. Even though some of the Star Wars books I've dropped, I thought I'm going to get that one. Then I have Totally Awesome Hulk, issue number 23, which again, I like that cover. I think that's a cool cover. And then now jump into Valiant, my Valiant books. We have Bloodshot Salvation. Jeff Lemire writing Bloodshot again, which I really enjoyed his writing of the book, and I'm super excited to see what this is going to be about. The title kind of reminded, wasn't there a Terminator film called Salvation? I might be wrong, but yeah, intrigued to see what Lemire's going to do with this one. We then have Secret Weapons issue number 4, which I've really enjoyed the series, so I'm super excited to see how it's going to end up. So those are my books for this week. I will be back, fingers crossed, on Friday with a comic book overload video, and then of course back next Wednesday with another Comic Haul Weekly. So I hope you all are well. Thank you very much for watching my video, and yeah, I think that's pretty much me done. Hope you all have a good week filled with comic book goodness. I've been Jason. This has been Comic Haul Weekly. Keep reading, and bye for now.